I'm giving away my exact vocal recording template that I use right here in my commercial recording studio that consistently produces over 6 figures per year. Who is this guy? So if you haven't met, I'm Jordan Eastler, part of My Audio Academy, and I'm also the owner of Speak Life Studio, which is a commercial recording studio here in South Carolina. What I am giving you access to today is the vocal recording template that we use to get that professional sound effectively and efficiently. Be sure to stick around to the end because I promise you, I'm gonna throw in some tips and tricks and different techniques that I use to tweak this template to fit literally any kind of vocal. That's my promise to you. Let's dive in. My templates are very, very simple. I hate complex, I hate complicated. It really allows you to be creative rather than to think super technical. So the first thing you see up here is obviously a master fader. We got the God particle up here, and trust me, we'll go through all the plugins a little bit later in the video. From here, we've got the filtered beat. So say, let's just go ahead and import a beat to make this an easy example. So say your client is recording and they want this part of the beat filtered. Well, bam, pull it down. We've already got the one knob there, so we can quickly just kind of filter the beats. And then we've got our all EFX. We've got all of our reverb tracks down here routed to this all EFX. That way, if I'm at the end of the track, the artist or the client is just saying, hey, I love the way that it sounds. I just want it to have a little bit more reverb. You pull up the all EFX, turn up the volume there, and you get more reverb. The next thing that we got here is our vocal bus. All of our audio tracks are effectively routed to our vocal bus. Below here is our parallel compression track, and that's just kind of adding a little bit of beef or a little bit of fullness. And outside of that, we've got our audio tracks. The only thing that we have here that's worth noting is our recording track. The way that I like to record is something that we broke down in the Young Thug recording template. Whenever you have this recording track, basically this is where all of your recording is going to be happening. Let's say we're going to record. Say they get done recording, pull it down. You're back to recording. If you're recording a track and the artist, it's just one long track, there's not really a hook. What I would probably do is hide these and make them inactive. That way your session's not cluttered. But I personally like to start this way because most tracks do start with a hook. It just kind of makes it a lot simpler, a lot easier to look at, and a lot easier to work in whenever you have your hook tracks up here. Whenever you get down to your verse down here, you've got your verse audio tracks. So now that we got the template overview knocked out, let's go ahead and break down some of these plugins. So up here at the master fader, we've obviously got the God particle. While I'm recording, I do make that inactive. Then we come down here to the one knob. This is going to be a filter. It's just kind of a creative tool. Say they're on the back end of the verse before the hook's about to come back in. That's typically where I'm going to go ahead and drag that beat drop down. Just kind of add a little bit of flavor to impress your clients. All EFX, nothing is happening there. Let's go ahead and break down this vocal bus. This is probably why you came. We're gonna stay true with the stock Pro Tools EQ. We're just kind of rolling off some of the low end, some of the room tone rumble, taking that out. We have a low shelf down here at 500 Hertz. That's taking out some of the boominess, some of the low end that may kind of clash with the beat, and a little bit of high end boost at right at about 6K, just a dB there to kind of add a little bit of shine to the vocals. So let's go ahead and dive into our de-esser here. Use whatever de-esser that you've got. This is personally my favorite de-esser though. It's the default setting. The only thing that I have adjusted, I've turned off the look ahead. This specific plugin with the look ahead turned on, it produces some latency. You definitely don't want that whenever you're recording. So if you've got this plugin, be sure to go ahead and turn that off. The next thing is the Wave CLA 2A. You're probably going to be hitting anywhere from about 10 dB of compression. I'm normally like in between 10 and 20, which is an absurd amount of compression. I already know this. But for whatever reason, on this plugin, it sounds so good. And sometimes you got to do what sounds good rather than doing what you're supposed to do. Do what sounds good. Trust your ear. Trust your heart. And that just kind of keeps your vocals nice and tight. Keeps it, to where it's not crazy dynamic, to where there's loud parts and super quiet parts. But I've used these settings for at least the last 6 years, and I've grown from 10 clients to 1,300 clients. You can keep doing it by the books and trust your professors, or you can take it from somebody who's actually doing it in the real world. The next thing that we got here is the C4, the Wave C4 multiband compressor. Within the template, I'm probably gonna have this bypassed actually, because I have been playing with this over the last few weeks. I really like the way that these settings sound. It's just kind of taming that vocal to make sure that the vocal frequencies aren't popping out, and kind of helps your vocal sit within the mix.
Nice.
The next thing that we got here, the Waves R-Comp. These are kind of my settings here that I'm using. I normally don't really adjust these much. If you do adjust it, I'm normally just kind of adjusting the threshold to where I'm hitting maybe about 3 dB of compression max, and that's just kind of taming those frequencies so it's not, the vocals aren't popping out and doing anything crazy. One of the last things that we got here is the Plugin Alliance Mag EQ. I have been experimenting with this setting. I'm probably going to boost that by 1 dB. It just kind of adds a little bit of body to your vocal, and what we're doing up here is kind of helping your vocals cut through the mix a little bit more, adding a little bit of shine up here to the top end, and that's what the Mag EQ is doing. And then last but not least, we have the stock mod delay, the Pro Tools mod delay. Use whatever delay plugin that you use, but I personally like this. I really like these settings, and I'll dial that in between, you know, 2 to about 8% depending on, you know, how much delay you want. Gonna jump to our boy, the CLA 76, the Wave CLA 76, the Blueface, the Bluey setting, not Blueface, Blueface baby. Normally keep these settings exactly the same, keep these settings the same. This is just kind of taming the peaks, and keep this at about -8 dB. Let's go through the reverbs that we got here. So let's see what we've got for the plate. So we have went with the Slate Digital Verb Suite Classics. This is gonna be the FG 480, short decay time here, so just kind of a little bit, just kind of add a little bit of shine to the vocal. The chamber, this is definitely a bright reverb, which is why I've got it bypassed. It adds a lot to it, but it only works on certain songs. And then we've got the Valhalla Vintage Verb. This is a stock setting. I think the only thing that I adjusted here was the decay time. So let's see what we've got, kind of how hot we've got these. So very mild plate. We've got this, the chamber bypass, very mild chamber, and then we've got this dialed back. And the reason why I've got this dialed back a little bit more is because this hall reverb, it's got a little bit of low end in that reverb. This can sometimes clash with the vocal. Let's go and actually break down what's on our audio tracks. I honestly don't really use this mod delay anymore. With the hook recording, I go ahead and have some type of auto-tune on my recording tracks, period. Because 9 out of 10 times, probably gonna be having some type of auto-tune pulled up. So I go ahead and have this pulled up, so I'm ready to go ahead and start dialing in the settings. Obviously take it off bypass and go ahead and start just kind of duplicating these things down the line there. The only thing that we've got outside of that is the lo-fi. Sample size, pulled that down to 15%, added 0.3 of the distortion to kind of add a little bit of saturation to the upper harmonics of the vocal. Okay, you can stop screenshotting all these plugins. I've made this template already. All you gotta do is hit that link down in the description, and if you want it for free, just put 0.00 and you got that free download straight to your email. Or if you've been enjoying the video, you've been getting some value, and you're feeling generous and you want to leave a tip, my guy, we've allowed you to pay whatever you would like to pay for this template. So this template does work in a lot of cases, but there's also some other scenarios where this template doesn't necessarily work with all vocals. So there's some pretty common tweaks that I do typically make within the template. So if you'd like to actually look over my shoulder as I walk through about 5 of my most recent recording sessions while using this exact template, along with some of my recommended alternative plugins, I have included a training add-on for the people who this is for. All right, so here we go. Let's break down how this vocal template actually sounds when we use it. I did adjust the names, but everything is identical. All the reverb, I promise, everything's identical. Let's go ahead and play what it sounded like pre-template.
Not for real, I get rats, a deal. Not for real, I got blue dollar bill, double cup pouring up. I just hope that it heal me.
Let's go ahead and play it with the template.
Not for real, I get rats, a deal. Not for real, I got blue dollar bill, double cup pouring up. I just hope that it heal me. I keep it concealed, pray to God it someone pull me up. I can't get enough, no.
I ain't even gotta say nothing. You heard that. You heard what it just did. Literally everything's the same, I believe. I think the only thing I adjust is I pulled down the 1K boost. I did turn on the look ahead afterwards. That stayed the same. That stayed the same. That stayed the same. That stayed the same. I literally did not touch it. Let's look at the auto-tune settings. There you go. There's those auto-tune settings. I may add a little bit more reverb, overall reverb. I like the way that the plate and the hall is working together, and I may go.
Not for real, I get rats, a deal. Not for real, I got blue dollar bill, double cup pouring up. I just hope that it heal me. I keep it concealed, pray to God it someone pull me up. I can't get enough, no.
Now, it would be too good to be true if I didn't switch to another song that was not recorded here by me, that was actually recorded in a bedroom on a $50 mic and a $100 interface. Let's see what this template does for that.
Let's get straight to the point then.
I'm not your boyfriend. Sent that message, but you kept ignoring it. I wanna make a happy meal
with the template.
Let's get straight to the point then. I'm not your boyfriend. Sent that message, but you kept ignoring it. I wanna make a happy meal and better choices.
Come on, man. I don't think I touched the template. Let's see what we did. Didn't touch. I didn't even touch the de-esser. Come on, dog. Totally different setup, recorded in a totally different place. I don't know what we did. There's some anointing on this template. It works. I would probably add a little bit more reverb. I'm probably gonna add a little bit more hall. Let's maybe go -28.
Let's get straight to the point then. I'm not your boyfriend. Sent that message, but you kept ignoring it. I wanna make a happy meal.
So, okay, you got, your melodic stuff. Now with the trap, is this template going to work? There's only one way to find out.
Up in the cut on your man. Turn it, scrape it, to let it boy. But how about with that cutter? He gon' do a dance.
Let's engage this template and let's see what we got.
Up in the cut on your man. Turn it, scrape it, to let it boy. But how about with that cutter? He gon' do a dance. Good know I hear butter. We don't get no chance.
Same template, same everything. Didn't adjust anything on this. Didn't adjust nothing. Looks like I do have the parallel compression. I do have the parallel compression turned up a little bit to add a little bit more beef to the vocal. I would add a little bit more reverb to it. I like kind of where it's sitting, so I'm just gonna kind of turn all of the reverb up. Let's kind of turn it up and see what we got.
Up in the cut on your man. Turn it, scrape it, just let it boy. But how about with that cutter? He gon' do a dance. Good know I hear butter. We don't get no chance. That came through dripping hard. It's a lean.
Come on, man. Stop playing. I can't believe this. I use this template every day, but I'm still impressing myself. If you want to check it out, if you want to try it in your own personal workflow, this is a pay what you want template down in the description. I know some of you guys are on the come up and you may not have a lot of money. If you click that link down in the description, you type 0.00, you got it on the house. If you do want to donate, I appreciate you. Seriously, you're the reason why we're able to create this channel and continue to pump out high quality content to propel your career as an audio engineer. If you haven't yet, be sure to hit that subscribe button because we are coming with the heat every single time. No misses, all hits. See y'all soon. Peace.